Hey Gear Seekers, I'm Nick.
And I'm Andrew.
And Andrew is one of my bestest mates. He has been for a very long time. And anytime in a video you see a hand that's not mine, it's usually his hand doing something funny. Over the years, I've built Andrew many gaming PCs. But today, Andrew actually said to me the other day, he's like, hey dude, I want to build my own gaming PC because his one at the moment isn't doing what he wants it to do. So
I'm building my own PC.
So we're going to use this video as a bit of a guide to show you guys what to do and what not to do when building a PC. And he's lucky he's got the best teacher ever, me. So let's do a PC building thing with Andrew. Andrew's gonna do most of the on-camera stuff today because I'm gonna be teaching him, because this is a good way for you guys to learn how to do this stuff as well. So this is the board that we chose. The ROG Strix B660A gaming Wi-Fi. It's not too insane, it's not crazy, and Andrew's not gonna be overclocking. He just wants to play games, guys. Sometimes it's just simple, right?
Yeah.
What game do you want to play?
Forza.
That's
100%.
It, right?
Back into it.
How many hours have you got in Forza already? Hundreds of
countless.
Hours. What CPU did we choose, dude?
Got the Intel Core i5-12600K because it's fast.
Yeah.
And I want it fast.
Yeah. I mean, you're playing racing games,
exactly,
right? You want it to be fast, right? And for RAM, what do we go with?
32 gigs of Trident Z, all the lights.
All the lights. Open that motherboard up. Look at that freshie, bro. All right, Andrew, opening the socket. You want to show us how it's done?
Yep, sure thing. So, press down here, move it out towards you, back up, and then lift this end, open sesame.
It's almost like you watch a Gear Seekers video before. And that's the only way to open up these LGA 1700 sockets. You'll notice that all CPUs, including the new AMD AM5 CPUs, have little notches on the top of the chips and on the bottom to help you with aligning the chip in the correct way. The rule of thumb with the Intel chips is the way you read the text is the way it goes into the socket. If you're looking at the motherboard in the case, you'll be able to read it without twisting your head. Hold the CPU kind of where the wings are, and you want to lower it into the socket nice and slow. All right, drop it in, be very careful. Give it a little bit of a wiggle. Okay, that's in nicely. Oh, you did it. Now what you want to do is close the socket. Yeah, put that back over. And now push the end down. So push this end all the way down. Yep. And now close the socket up. There's a lot of tension there. Yeah, that's it. All good. This bit here can be the most daunting thing for every first-time PC builder because you've got more at stake with damaging stuff than anything else with building a PC. So it's actually good that you get this out of the way first.
I agree. It definitely wasn't the smoothest thing, but that's it, first time, so it can only get better.
I mean, he's going to be addicted to this after building his first PC. It's like Lego, man. Yeah. It's the same thing. The next thing we're going to do is install the RAM. So we've got our 4 RAM modules, and you want to show us how it's done? You've seen this plenty of times, so
yes,
you figure it out.
So just open that up into the slot, push down both ends till you clip it in, and that's it. Yeah. And rinse and repeat.
That's it. Beautiful. You did good, mate.
Thank you.
You're going to choose where the M.2 drive goes in. So Andrew's going to install it with no guidance whatsoever. I'm not going to help him. These drives only go in one way, so you can't plug it in the wrong way. It's not possible. To actually put it in like this.
And then seat it down. Okay.
Yeah, you'll notice that these have, you don't need to use screws on most of these boards anymore. And these cool plastic clips. So basically what you want to do is make sure it's kind of in an open position.
Yep.
Push the drive down.
And then seat that over it.
Yeah, that's it. For those playing at home, I'll show you one more time. Push it down and lock it in. And there you go. This drive doesn't have its own heatsink, so one thing we need to do is actually flip that over. There's a thermal pad. We need to remove the cover on the thermal pad because this is a PCIe Gen 4 drive. Peel corp. It's going to get hot. So basically flip that back over and line it up with the screw holes. Screw that up. I'm just holding the board so it doesn't slide around as we do it. And do the other one up a little bit. Look at that, mate. M.2 is installed. And that is almost everything that we need to do Guys, you also have to remember Andrew's not an on-camera guy like I am every day, so please be nice to him in the comments down below. He is trying his hardest. But not in a condescending way, because like Andrew, he loves PCs, and he just wants to know how to build them. So the one thing I would recommend doing next, after installing all the stuff on the motherboard, is actually putting the mounting gear for your cooler on. So we're actually going with this, the Glacier 1240 M25. This is a new cooler from Fantex. I sent this a little while ago. We've never used it. It is brand new. So one thing that I was going to show in the video was how to apply thermal paste, but because this has got pre-applied thermal paste, it just doesn't matter. Find the Intel mounting gear. That's all labeled in there as well. So it's actually pretty easy to find all the stuff. Yep, 100,000,000%. So as I mentioned, I've been saying it's socket LGA 1700. If you look on the back, it actually is labeled 1700 as well. So yeah, nice. It's called a back plate because it goes on the back side of the motherboard. I know Andrew should be doing this, but I'm just going to show him because this bit can be complicated. And this is a reason why we make install guides for coolers, is because this can be, although not difficult, daunting, like very daunting. And the way I'd recommend doing this is, if we get lucky, is flip that over like that. A lot of these coolers will need some type of insulation on the back of the motherboard, and Fantex has these plastic washers. So you slide those down, and they should actually just kind of stop, like to just push them all the way to the bottom, right? Beautiful. Pretty satisfying, eh?
Something I can do.
Right.
Nice.
That's it, mate. All your mounting gear is installed. Easier than you thought?
Yes, definitely. The case that I've chosen is the Lian Li Landcool 216. It's big, it'll fit all that we're using in it. Nick's done a review on this case. It'll be in the link below.
Yeah, there you go. All right, I'll take the panel, mate. Thank you. On the panel collector. I'll take your panel, sir.
Just going to remove the rear fan because we're replacing them with AL uni fans.
Pop it out. When in doubt,
pop it out.
Why not flop it out?
Because you can't do that on the internet unless you're on a specified page.
What page? What page? What page?
Gear Seekers. Installing the motherboard.
Yeah. So cases like this have center pegs on them that kind of hold the board into place once you line them up. So you kind of push, I mean, you got it, you got it.
Never fully trust it though.
Exactly, never fully trust
Except
it.
now where I'm hands-free.
Wi-Fi motherboard, bro. I mean, you've pulled apart enough PCs to know how to do this bit.
You'd hope so, but you know, you never know.
Most people will build PCs with the PC laying down flat. So not only is Andrew doing it a much harder way for someone who's never built a PC before, he's doing it really well.
Power supply install.
You've seen this one 1,000 times. So
sure have.
You got it. And you've pulled these out before. I'm wirelessly installing a power supply. So power supplies are very easy to install. It's usually just 4 screws. You probably noticed throughout the video there is little cards in the top somewhere, up the bottom somewhere, with all the hardware that we're using, but there'll be a PC part picker list down below so you can see all the hardware used in Andrew's new gaming PC. Power supply's in, good job, dude. Now we need to power the motherboard. So I'm gonna show you which cables to use to physically power up your board. First thing we need is the 24-pin power connector. You know where that goes.
In through here?
Yep, so we'll plug that in a sec. That's the main power for your motherboard. The next thing we're going to need is CPU power. It's always wise to plug these in before you do any coolers or anything like that. All right, start off with the 24-pin power connector. It's fairly straightforward. It only plugs in one way, and Andrew's already figured this out, but push it in nice and firmly. It'll make a little clip. And then the EPS power connector is the same deal. So you see how there's 8 together? Plug that into the one connector that has 8 pins as well, with the clips facing up. Yeah, you got it. And then you got to plug in one more of those. It doesn't matter which one. Yeah, you got it. We're lucky with the 216 because the front panel connector for the lights and switches and everything is a single block, and it's this one here. Maybe the most difficult thing to identify on a motherboard, but typically it's in the bottom right-hand side. See the blanked out block on the top? How it's got that one blanked out bit? at right there. So that is typically at the top of wherever you plug it in. So just to make this easy for you, I'll identify where it is. And on this board, it's this connector here. And you see, if you look close, right, there's 4 pins on the top row and 5 on the bottom row. And if you look at that connector, it's the same deal. It'll only plug in one way. We're gonna apply a similar technique to the front panel audio connector. You can usually find out where they plug in just by looking at the pin that's missing. Next one is front panel USB type A. So that is typically somewhere near the 24-pin power connector, especially on ASUS boards. But the trick to this is line it up, do it as straight as possible, and then commit, because you can bend those pins, but you didn't. You did good. And the last one is the USB type C cable. What we want to do is you see the connector above the one you just plugged in, yeah, and it should just clip in. Hit it. Rear fans going in. We've got AL120 uni fans. We only need 3 for this because we're not going to put fans under the GPU. It just doesn't make sense for a lot of builds, and this is such a high airflow case that it's purely for aesthetics at that point. We're going to install the cooler, and we're actually going to install the cooler on the top. And the best way to do this usually, Andrew, is do 1 screw in one corner. Right, don't tighten it up all the way, that's the trick. Just get it in there a little bit. If we're not fully tightened in, we can slide it to see where we would like it. That's why no 2 PC builds are ever the same. Whiz it up, brah.
The big whizzer.
Big whizzer. This Fantex cooler's actually got pre-applied thermal paste. So as mentioned earlier in the video, I was gonna show you guys how to do thermal paste, but we don't need to. And you wanna face the tubes in towards the ramp because this is the way this cooler is designed to go. This has the pump in the radiator. And I'll hold it in just to give you a bit of a hand because this can be a bit tricky. Just finger tighten them and then we're gonna do them up with a screwdriver. Yes, they're thumb screws, but it's always best practice to use a screwdriver. Don't listen to other people who don't build as many PCs. For some reason, on the cooler that we got from Fantex, there's a PC Case Gear logo on here. So I guess, shout out to PC Case Gear for some reason. I don't know why their logo is on this cooler that came from Taiwan, but okay.
The graphics card we're using is the RTX 3070.
That's it. Hey, there we go. This is a 6-pin connector, this is an 8-pin connector, but you'll notice that all of these have 8 pins and then there's a breakaway 2-pin. You just don't plug in the breakaway 2-pin and then you're fine.
Just run with it until you get the runs.
A big right-hander off Santa Monica Pier getting pitted. Don't get pitted.
Never get pitted.
Don't get pitted.
The only thing that should be pitted is an olive.
Get pitted, dude.
Oh no, bro, it's like the La Brea tar pit, another California reference.
They've got it all wrong, dude. Get pitted, man.
Get pitted.
Get pitted.
Technically, your mum's a pit when you're an embryo going into a baby. 9 months gestation, you are the seed, your mum's the pit.
Your mum is the gestation station.
Do it for your mums, everyone.
Do it for your ummays.
Big shout outs to the mums. Looks pretty combed.
Quick and dirty cable management time. The thing with cable management is, and this is something I recommend, do it so you can change things later. Don't use zip ties and stuff because it's just going to be annoying later. You want it to be accessible. If you want to add something or pull something out, just don't make your own life hard. Yeah, it might look cool, but the back panel's on. You're never going to see it. Don't be one of those people. And look at that. That's why cable management isn't super important. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, look, I can't see it. Magic. It's almost like they designed it to be that way. That's it. Oh, he's done it. Seriously, how clear is the glass? It's pretty clear, hey. Andrew, has your handiwork paid off?
Hope so.
Press the power button and see what happens. Oh, no.
Damn, is the PowerPoint on?
No, I played a prank on you. I turned it off on the back of the power supply. Do it again. Hopefully it works. It's many hours later and we actually found out something interesting that happened with Andrew's Microsoft account. What happened, Andrew?
The save file corrupted on it.
Like in the cloud, the save file was corrupted. So we tried it on a bunch of computers. And when Forza syncs the save file, it takes forever. And Andrew hasn't played since his other computer started playing up. So what's happened is his game was crashing, and as his game was crashing, it uploaded a corrupted save file to the cloud, and we had to, it took us a while to figure out that's what was actually going on, because we loaded up my profile, everything worked fine. So we've had to start a whole new save game by tricking it into not syncing it so we can resync it with the new file. That's ridiculous, but that's the bottom line. Like, it took us quite a few hours to figure out that was going on. But as you can see, Andrew is currently playing Forza on his new PC. He's playing at 4K. Everything is maxed out. Obviously, he's not going to be playing at 4K on his setup, but I mean, our testing setup here has 4K, and it's running really good. Like, very, very good. I forgot how good this game looks. It's probably one of the best looking racing games out there, for sure. Just, man, it looks so good. It doesn't even need to look super realistic. It just looks good. And you know the funniest thing about this car? It's really not that fast when you compare it to the other cars in the game. Like, it's not fast at all. But it feels so fast because it's like the first fast car that you use.
Well, compared to the Ford Bronco.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but you know, when you... they give you a fast car to test out at the start of the game, but the actual fast cars, absolutely rip this thing. Don't worry, Andrew, I wouldn't be doing much talking either on my brand new gaming PC. This thing's running really, really good. It's a couple days later, and a lot of the issues that we ran into with Forza are not resolved. So we actually have to contact Microsoft so they can restore Andrew's save game. We looked at how much playtime he's got. He's got 14 and a half days of playtime, which is absolutely insane for Forza Horizon 5. It was good to have one of my mates here doing something new, stepping out of their comfort zone and being in a video, because not everyone is used to being on camera all the time like this guy right here. And I think Andrew actually learned quite a lot about PC building, and I can tell you for a fact that he's got the bug now. He wants to build more PCs. I've still got his PC here because we're doing a couple other things software-wise on it before I give it over to him. And he's actually building a whole new setup, so he doesn't want it to be in the way, distracting him before he builds that brand new setup. I hope that if you're not confident in building your own PC, this video helped you a little bit and gave you a little bit of insight into how easy it really is to build your own PC. And with that said, I'll put a PC part pick list down below so you can see what all the hardware was that we used in it, but we put little cards throughout the video that talk about all that hardware when we talk about the hardware, if that all makes sense. Anyways, guys, if you like the music you heard here, I make all the music. It's available by clicking that join button right down there, down below. Once again, thank you so very much for watching. I'm your boy Nick with Gear Seekers. You peek, we seek, and I really hope you learnt something with this video because this was really fun to make. Thanks for watching.